All right, PragerU Kids made this video about what it means to be a man because their conservatives are doing kids shows now, I guess. Sure.
What comes to mind when you think of the word masculinity? Do you think of this?
I can feel the testosterone running through my veins.
Or
Yes.
this?
Masculinity is
Yeah, I'd think of that.
not about having the biggest muscles or the best mustache. And despite what some confused people think, masculinity is not toxic.
Who are those confused people? I know you're talking to kids, so you have to put everything through a filter, through a veil. But who are the confused people? Oh, the ones that don't know what a man is. Right? Yeah, we're confused.
Due to a shortage of beef jerky and TV dinners, we are on the verge of an economic collapse. And it's all due to toxic masculinity. Story 11.
Being a man isn't something to be ashamed of, so embrace your masculinity.
It took masculinity to defeat Nazi Germany in World War II.
Whoa, how did we get there? How did we make the jump from masculinity to Nazi Germany? Jesus. Which is ironic because you see the policies of America today, they're closely following a certain someone. Masculinity defeated the Nazis. I think it was largely due to the communist Soviet Union, if I'm being honest. So is this their roundabout way of saying that communism is manly? Surely not. I've been lied to this whole time.
It took masculinity to mine coal and keep America's homes warm. And it takes masculinity to have a solid family and a strong country today.
So
There it is. There's the conservative hegemony. To be a man is to be a coal miner. Dude, that's crazy. So me playing Minecraft does contribute to the patriarchy. Fuck. Damn, I thought I got away from all that.
grow up and be a man.
Yeah, be a man, not a little mouse.
Today, we give you 4 tips on how to embrace your masculinity.
Ooh, okay. 4 tips, perfect for my attention span. I can't wait.
Be independent, financially and mentally. Every teenage boy has a vision of being independent, and it usually looks something like this.
I'm sick of people telling me what to do. I'm sick of the lectures. I'm sick of the rules. And I'm sick of this house.
Real masculinity is about becoming independent in a healthy way. It means becoming a strong person who's able to think for yourself and take responsibility for.
This is ironic coming from the company who recently hosted a roundtable of all these conservative people like Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh. They looked the camera in the lens and said, I don't know how to do the laundry. That's for my wife to do.
Mrs. Shapiro said, I'm not sure Ben knows how to do laundry, so I'll go with the dishes. Your wife said dishes, and she also threw in he doesn't know how to do the laundry. Michael, you answered dishes. Your wife said neither, but if there was a gun to his head, he would choose dishes.
Is that taking responsibility to be a man? I moved out at 18. That's taking responsibility. I'm a leftist. Am I not a man? I don't really give a fuck what I am at this point. I don't have to be a man, and I'm still more masculine than any conservative men that I've seen.
your life. Because let's face it, it's a lot easier to shirk responsibility, mooch off of others, and
All right, cool. Be independent. I've got that. I'm a quarter of the way there to being a conservative man. Oh my god.
Number 2, be strong. Deep down, every man wants to be strong. And it can go too far.
Whoa. That's toxic masculinity. So wait, now this is so strange. Now is it bad to be toxic in terms of masculinity? Pulling out a chainsaw when I lose my arm wrestling contest that happen every time I go to the bar? Is that toxic? Are they going to tell me not to do that now?
But the desire to be strong is a good thing. Sometimes life requires you to be strong, whether it's protecting your loved ones or moving a couch. Having strength when you need it is satisfying and useful. Just don't let it go to your head. Taking on stupid dares and trying to prove how strong you are just makes you look insecure. And being
That's literally part of toxic masculinity. Oh, they've got to make up their mind. Is it good or bad to be toxically masculine, man? I'm confused. I'm trying to be a man. Maybe I've moved a couch before. I've moved apartments a few times. So okay, be independent, be strong. I'm a quarter of the way there.
fight your fears and be courageous when challenged. Every boy has a hero. whether it's Superman or a football star. And it's a really strong source of inspiration. The people you look up to.
So now they can reference Superman as well, even though conservatives on Twitter were crying their eyes out. Conservative men on Twitter were crying their eyes out about Superman being an immigrant. So now it's fine for conservatives to reference Superman, even though he's a woke superhero, immigrant, alien. Okay, I'm just checking.
His heroes are the people you try to be like. But that means you have to choose your heroes carefully. Having this guy as a hero
Stop speeding, everybody! Stop speeding!
will lead to a very different place than this guy.
Our ancestors made a fair deal with these natives, and they said, you know what? In exchange for your peaceful pipes and your land, we'll give you smallpox.
Who is he trying to be? I don't know. But if my hero of a policeman was actually my hero, I'd be kind of worried why 40% of his colleagues participate in any form of domestic violence. That's kind of a worry. But hey, maybe that's overstated. Maybe I just need to follow in his footsteps to be truly masculine.
One thing that good heroes have in common is that they don't walk away from challenges. They're confident and they overcome obstacles with determination and grit.
This was Charlie Kirk's excuse. All right, step 4, be a gentleman.
Be a gentleman. Masculinity isn't all about being rough and tumble like John Wayne in the wild prairies.
So again, we're referencing toxic masculinity. Is it a thing? Is it not a thing?
It means knowing how to act appropriately for the occasion. This is called being a gentleman. For example, when it comes to women, a gentleman is strong, respectful, and gentle at the same time. Carry yourself with confidence. Don't be a noodle. But don't get too big for your britches and act like a jerk.
Hey, you
Toxic masculine? Oh, you can tell a conservative wrote this because it's so fucking stupid. Oh dear. All right, well, I've been a gentleman in my past, I believe so. So I've got 4 out of 4. Am I a conservative man now? I can only hope I have achieved their bountiful request of being a conservative male. Please, I need this. It's all I have.
Doubt. So let's recap how to embrace your masculinity. Number 1, be independent financially and mentally. Number 2, be strong and use your strength for good. Number 3, fight your fears and be courageous when challenged. And number 4, be a gentleman and control your strength.
Just quickly with number 3, I got a few comments in my first main video about Charlie Kirk about spreading misinformation. Misinformation doesn't exist. It's called free speech, patriots. I am courageous. I'm showing my face on the internet. I'm not sitting behind an anonymous account commenting on some kid's TikToks, some kid's YouTube account. So I think some of you conservative males in my comment section may need to work on number 3 a little bit.
Thank you for watching this how-to video for PragerU.
Yeah, whatever. All right, what are the comments saying? Being respectful, generous, and having good manners applies to both sexes. Correct. Which is my main quarrel with masculinity. Why is it exclusively for men these days, right? There's nothing you can say about what should make a man that doesn't also apply to our non-binary friends or women friends. It took masculinity to defeat Nazi Germany. It also took masculinity for Nazi Germany to happen. Correct. And where are we seeing it again but the good old state of Northern America, the beautiful United States. Thanks, as a trans guy, I found this useful. Yeah, they're providing all the social markers for being a man. So maybe it's a good thing that PragerU Kids exists. Maybe it's good that conservatives are now turning their attention to young people, to children. I mean, the main conservative was already in plenty of matters pertaining to children. Donald Trump being Jeffrey Epstein's friend. But no, I definitely see PragerU Kids as an overall good for the world. You know, conservatives like to get to those kids early. What can I say? They've proved themselves right in that regard with all the pedophiles they elect twice within the span of 12 years. But no, there's nothing inherently masculine about any of those qualities that they spoke about. To say that anything is masculine is to exclude femininity from any of those things. You can make the correlation. To be masculine is to be a man, but to be feminine is to be a woman. If you did, you're a fucking idiot. There's nothing inherently masculine about anything anymore because masculinity served as a means of control over what men should do, over what their societal role should be, right? Anyone who parades around about them being masculine honestly needs to just get a fucking hobby. All right, PragerU with another banger telling me how to be a man because I am confused, man.
Rape, murder, war. They all have one thing thing in common. Men.
Yeah, pretty much.
Aggression, violence, ambition unchecked by conscience, all the stuff of toxic masculinity, right?
Yeah, I think every war has been started by a man up to this point, so you may be onto something.
And the solution is obvious. Make men less toxic. Make men less masculine. Make men more like women.
How did we get to that one? We're on a good path for a while, but make them more like women. I know a couple of conservative leaders with some voluptuous titties, if that's what we're talking about. I don't think it is with PragerU.
But I'm here to tell you that that way of thinking is not only wrong, it's dangerous. Here's why. When you try to make men more like women, you don't get less toxic masculinity. You get more. Why? Because bad men don't become good when they stop being men.
How do you stop being a man? I thought according to conservatives, your gender is what's in your pants. Are conservatives chemically castrating men to make them less toxic? Oh my goodness, we have to make 100 anti-men bills within the span of 2 months to combat this. For anyone too stupid to pick up on my sarcasm, I am satirizing the amount of anti-trans rhetoric and anti-trans bills that have been created over a nothing issue. Over an issue that affects 1% of the American population. So for any conservatives watching, if you were too thick in the head to pick up on social cues, I was being sarcastic.
They become good when they stop being bad. Aggression, violence, and unbridled ambition can't be eliminated from the male psyche. They can only be harnessed. And when they are harnessed, they are tools for good, not for harm. The same masculine traits that bring destruction also defeat tyranny. The traits that foster greed also build economies. The traits that
foster greed builds economies. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, these fucking conservatives are hilarious. You know who builds the economies? The working class. There's nothing inherently masculine about the working class because women take up about 50% of it. That's such a tell that their donors told them to say that. We need greed for a capitalist society. Yeah, capitalist maybe. What about all the other systems that are inherently better than that because greed wouldn't exist?
Drive men to take foolish risks also drive men to take heroic risks. The answer to toxic masculinity isn't less masculine.
There's nothing inherently to do with any of those things to be masculine. The fuck? I know women risk takers. They take a risk every time they step outside at night because toxic men follow them home, assault them. What the fuck?
It's better masculinity. And we know what that looks like. It's a young man opening the door for a girl on their first date. It's a father working long hours to provide for his family. It's a soldier risking his life to defend his country.
Why would that soldier need to defend a country? Could that country be pushing the buttons on the world stage, causing other countries to not really like them that much? In turn, the bourgeoisie class of that original country, profiting off of the commodification of the male body by sending them to war. A war that no one should give a fuck about because the main instigator for a lot of the wars is capital. Is that too woke for everyone? Sorry, I'll rein it in.
Growing problem in today's society isn't that men are too masculine. It's that they're not masculine enough.
Hell yeah, brothers. Let's see how this plays out.
When men embrace their masculinity in a way that is healthy and productive, they are leaders, warriors, and heroes. When they deny their masculinity, they run away from responsibilities, leaving destruction and despair in their wake. The consequences can be seen everywhere. 1 in 4 fathers now lives apart from his children, and children
W women for divorcing those parents. I guess they were embracing masculinity too much, or maybe the women were embracing masculinity by taking responsibility for their problems and filing for a divorce. Damn, that's pretty masculine of all the women.
I don't know any woman at any age who is attracted to a passive man who looks to her to be his provider, protector, and leader.
Because men like that, 1, probably don't exist, and 2, are probably conservative. A lot of conservative men who don't foster the skills to be responsible and independent for themselves by leaving their hometown, by studying in college, by getting jobs, pulling themselves up from their bootstraps. No, conservative men would rather stay on Twitter all day crying about trans people, a problem that doesn't exist, crying about immigrants, another problem that doesn't exist, a problem that's told to them exists from conservative donors that own corporations like PragerU. I'll take more of a chance on a liberal man who has who was able to move out of home, who was able to go to college, get a degree, to be less of whatever was just said about these men that apparently exist. They're literally just describing conservative men who don't know how to self-actualize any of their emotions, any of their ambitions, right?
Every woman I know wants a strong, responsible man.
Yes, which also correlates to being liberal, which also correlates with being educated and possessing a degree, but I digress.
That's not a consequence of a social construct or cultural pressure. It's innate. The devaluation of masculinity won't end well because feminine, passive men don't stop evil. Passive men don't defend, protect, or provide. Passive men don't lead. Passive men don't do the things we have always needed men to do for society to thrive.
So we say all of this, and you know what? Let's look at the conservative leader of the world, Donald Trump, taking responsibility, right? So he's had numerous lawsuits that he's had to settle on, numerous ongoing lawsuits as well about his business practices and fraud. You talk about defending our country. He dodged the draft, right? You talk about responsibility for family. He cheated on his partner, his baby mama, with a porn star. Responsibility for the family. He was charged as a sexual assaulter, right? Okay. He possesses a felony charge, probably a few, who knows? Not conservatives, because they'll just deny it anyway. So when conservative organizations like this and the Daily Wire tell you what it means to be a man, let's look to our leaders for an example. Let's look to Donald Trump, built like a fucking, I don't even know, I can't think of a clever pun to describe how he's built. Built like a fucking loser. We look to our conservative leaders for a manly man and we see nothing. We see couch fucking JD Vance. We see pedophile Donald Trump. So save me all the bullshit about being a man when your leaders can't even maintain that promise as is.